Hey, everybody, what's going on? Jeffrey here, another episode of the Daily Ticket. This one for Thursday, the 2nd of November, 2023. Hi, everybody. By the way, thank you all for watching and commenting on yesterday's episode. Had Bernie Fratto on talking about the possibility of Urban Meyer to Michigan State. I love the conversation. I thought Bernie was fantastic. Thank you for watching and commenting and rating and reviewing. You guys are the best. So we talk about one institution, Michigan State. Let's get to the other one, shall we? How about Michigan? Holy smokes. It just never ends with the University of Michigan and this sign stealing allegation scandal thing. I do think it's funny that on Monday, which was Tuesday rather, Halloween, the Connor Stalions photos popped up at Spartan Stadium on the sidelines of the Chippewas as CMU was in East Lansing to take on Michigan State. And who did you see on the sideline? Connor Stalions. But he screwed up. He messed up. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people that say it's not him, it's not him, it's not him. Well, if it's not him and it's a Chippewa employee, then why is CMU investigating? I ask you. They'd be able to tell right away, hey, that's Bob from recruiting. Hey, that's Sal, our strength and conditioning coach. Nope, none of that. They had to investigate. We'll get to it for a second, all right? But you got Stallions, or at least, let's be fair, what looks to be Stallions on the sideline talking to Central Michigan personnel. He messed up, though. He's wearing Nikes while the Chippewas wear Adidas. It does look like he's wearing a wig because Connor Stalions is bald. But in the photos, he's got hair. He's got the hat on, and he's got some sunglasses at night. Is it ZZ Top? I wear my sunglasses at night. So it's probably not ZZ Top, is it? I don't know who sings that. Comment section below, let me know. But you got Stallions wearing sunglasses. Here. It's kind of like this, but these are just regular glasses. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, you can kind of tell right here and right here on the tips of the frame, there potentially is a recording device. They sell these on Amazon for $350. Connor Stalions scouting Michigan State. And before you say, well, why would he have to do that? We actually thought Michigan State might be okay before the whole Mel Tucker scandal happened, right? It's him, people. It looks to be him. And it looks like he's recording Michigan State's sidelines. And I heard Doug Karsh from the Midday Show said, well, why would he even do that? What advantage could he get? What do you mean? If you're live streaming, which apparently those glasses do, you're live streaming the action back to a cloud somewhere. You're telling me that Connor Stalions, wherever he looks, he's not picking up signs to go back and look at it differently? It's a Friday night. Michigan's not playing football. He's usually on the Michigan sideline talking to coaches that he should not be talking to. Did you know it's an NCAA violation to talk to Jesse Minter and Sharon Moore and Jim Harbaugh? Didn't seem to stop him. But this is a Friday before the season starts. Stallions potentially recording the signs of Michigan State. Doesn't need to sit on the 35-yard line or the 45-yard line. Doesn't need to sit up 30 rows because he's recording everything potentially with what he sees. It's wild. But you got to find out if it's him, right? Because if it's not him, what are we doing? So Jim McElwain, just so happened, played a football game yesterday. I don't even know who they played. Northern Illinois, maybe? I don't know. They won. But Jim McElwain, after a win, Central's not very good. They won a football game. The first thing he says is this. Take a listen as Jim McElwain, who was once thought to take a picture with a shark. I don't know if that was him or not. I don't think it was. I can tell you that McElwain, by the way, used to be a wide receiver coach for Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. Here's what he had to say. Take a listen.
Before we go any farther, we've obviously are aware of a picture floating around with the sign stealer guy. Our people are doing everything they can to get to the bottom of it. We're totally unaware of it. I certainly don't condone it in any way, shape, or form. And, I do know that his name was on none of the passes that were let out. Now we just keep tracing it back and try to figure it out. But it's in good hands with our people. And again, there's no place in football for that.
I could tell you somebody from Central Michigan is going to get fired. You can't give that guy Stallions a pass from the 25 to the 25. If you're going to give him a pass, you give him a pass to walk around on the field during the game. But it seems like, and I'm just opinion here, speculating, doesn't it seem like Connor or somebody called up somebody on the chip sideline on behalf of Connor? He was talking to personnel. At one point, a ball was coming towards them. He knew he'd be on TV. He kind of sheltered himself a little bit. Somebody from Central is going to get fired. And if I'm Michigan State, I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious that you brought this spy on my field. I said spy, not guy, people. I must be honest, I am a Michigan fan, but I do love this story. It is so freaking good. Every day there's a new nugget, a new tidbit, and I love it all. And watching Stallions like he's Bobby Valentine, for crying out loud, sneaking in with the fake mustache, it's hysterical. But it's also illegal. And it seems like he broke NCAA rules. So here's what we can't do anymore. We can't say not a big deal because the initial rule wasn't thought to be a big deal. Can't do that. Right? We can't say, well, it didn't give Michigan an advantage because there was an article that Bruce Feldman wrote by The Athletic or on The Athletic. Go check it out, where he talked to 50 coaches in college football. And damn near half of them said this is a big advantage. And if you actually go and look at what they said, if you go read the article, I don't want to give out their information because it's behind a paywall. They seem to think it's a big deal. Most coaches thought this would give Michigan an advantage of 3 to 7 points, while other coaches thought it would be more. And even one coach said it could be as much as a 20-point advantage. So we're not allowed to say that anymore either. Not a big deal. And we're not allowed to say, well, what good is it really doing Michigan? And then we also just can't say the lone wolf theory either. We can't say, you know what? Maybe he acted as a lone wolf. Because nobody believes that, by the way. Somebody had to bankroll this operation. We already know for a fact, according to the Washington Post. I know you don't trust the Washington Post, but the WAPO announced or reported that that video footage that Connor Stalions' army of spies get at football games is uploaded to a computer that is shared with coaches and staffers of Michigan. So I don't believe it was a lone wolf. Michigan had to have known about it, probably paid for it. It did and is a huge advantage for the Wolverines, and it is a big deal. And even though I think the whole thing is brilliant, I do, clever, I think it's amazing, it's still cheating. And now Michigan seems like they're going to have to pay, right? But the question is, how much? The question is, what's going to happen next? Because have you figured out by now, every day something new drops about this sign-stealing saga. And the latest is interesting because it's not just the Bruce Feldman piece where he talked to coaches and they talk about what an unfair advantage this is for Michigan. It's also about the national media. Mike and Rico did a tremendous job in their show covering this. Whether it be Paul Feinbaum or Stephen A. Smith, usually when the national media talks about Michigan, it's glowing. They understand what a cash cow the Wolverines are. Something's changed, though, people. We already discussed this. I feel we're ahead of the curve on the daily ticket. Could the Big Ten step in and wreck Michigan's season? Now, what are the talking heads saying? Just that. We'll start with Paul Feinbaum, who, by the way, usually rips on Michigan, did stick up for Harbaugh. Take a listen what he said and get up today.
Let me address the court for just a second, Greeny. 2 weeks ago, I sat here with you, and made the biggest mistake of my professional career. I gave Jim Harbaugh the benefit of the doubt. Never again. I thought it was too early to come down on him. It's not too early anymore. It's actually getting very late for him. I mean, this is a disgusting story with every revelation, which happens every single day of the week. And the fact that the Big Ten has not done anything yet is inexcusable. That's the only mechanism to stop this train. And quite frankly, a lot of people think it should be stopped. It's up to Tony Petitti, the new Big Ten commissioner, to step in. They're the only people with jurisdiction. The NCAA can be looking at this for the rest of our lives. And as far as whether Jim Harbaugh goes to the NFL, that's really up to NFL franchises, whether or not they want to get in business with this guy right now. Let me address the court for
Feinbaum says it. The Big Ten needs to step in. Tony Petitti, the new commissioner, needs to do something. We haven't heard anything. They haven't talked about it, talking about the Big Ten. In fact, other officials from other Big Ten schools haven't talked about it either. But this was the initial blow, I feel, where the walls are going to start closing in. Not only on Connor Stalions, he's going to be fired eventually, but on Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. I didn't think the Big Ten was going to step in unless there was so much pressure by everybody surrounding this that they had no choice but to. It's starting, people. It's starting. Many people say, hey, if the Big Ten was going to do something, they already would. And maybe you were right back then. But think of how much more has come out. It's starting. The walls are closing in on Michigan football. It is funny, by the way. While this entire thing is going on, you know what Michigan's doing? They're talking about potentially giving Jim Harbaugh a new contract. Santa Ono, the president of Michigan, took a big picture yesterday, I think it was, with the Michigan football team to show his support for Michigan. And on Halloween, Jim Harbaugh, he went as Maverick from Top Gun. No, I'm not saying if the NCAA is investigating you for you not to go out for Halloween, but maybe a little self-awareness here, people. The Big Ten could step in and wreck Michigan's season. Michigan, however, is acting like, just another day in Ann Arbor. Let's go to Zingerman's Deli, maybe hit the Hands-On Museum. Next thing you know, we'll play a football game against Purdue on Saturday. The walls could be closing in. Worst case scenario, kick you out of the Big Ten game, title game, suspend Jim Harbaugh. The more people talk about this, and by the way, guys, this ain't going away, the worse it's going to get. But I played you Paul Feinbaum. What about Stephen A. Smith? He works for ESPN too. He had thoughts. Again, the national media chiming in. Take a listen.
This is a serious matter because it clearly involves cheating. There is no way to slice it. And if you're the Big Ten, here's what you need to contemplate as your nightmare. Suppose Michigan runs the table. Suppose Michigan gets into the college football playoff. What do you think people are going to be talking about? You think the national media is going to let this go? You think that you're going to show up? You got coaches stealing signs and, infiltrating other teams on the sideline and stuff like that. And you think that you're going to get to the college football playoffs, all right, probably at the expense of an Alabama or Washington or somebody like that. We understand it. And you think you're going to get on center stage for a national college football playoff, a national championship on the line, and the national media is going to ignore how you possibly got there? This is a serious matter because it clearly involves.
So there you go. Stephen A. Smith says the Big Ten's got to step in, and he actually brings up a fantastic point. Does he not? What about other teams? Michigan's going to take somebody's spot. Michigan is going to take another deserving team's spot in the college football playoff. Michigan cheated. They get to go, but another team that did not doesn't. That is not going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Fair? But Michigan doesn't seem to care about fair. And he's right. The national media is not going to let this go. They're just getting started. We heard from Paul Feinbaum. We heard from Stephen A. Apparently, others on the four-letter network are talking about it, including Pat McAfee. This latest picture of Stallions to me, put everything over the top for Michigan. And while I think before that, it was speculation, but now that you see the guy at the center of it on the sideline, doing his thing on a Michigan off day, I truly believe now the wheels are going to be put in motion and the Big Ten is going to have no other choice but to step in and maybe dish out some punishment. Maybe. What else is going to come out next? So let me know. As a Michigan fan, how concerned are you? As a Michigan State fan, how much are you loving this? Could you, by the way, think of a scenario where Michigan State hires Urban Meyer on the same day that it's announced that Michigan can't play in the Big Ten title game? That would be unfreaking believable. So comment section below. Let me know. I think I laid it out pretty well for you. Are you concerned as a Michigan fan? Are the walls closing in? They feel like they are or about to start to. What did I miss? Let me think. Stallions, cheater. Oh, the other thing too, by the way, is even if you're the lone wolf, which nobody believes that, by the way, it's still on Jim Harbaugh. And he still could suffer discipline for allowing this man into the fray to begin with. And by the way, more pictures are going to come out. Go look. Do some reconnaissance on your own. Stallions is everywhere, guys. He's everywhere on that sideline. I was watching old games just today. You can see Connor Stalions everywhere. So what do you know? What do you think? Oh, here's the other thing too, by the way. One more thing. Sorry. It just so happens that Michigan's record went from crap, and they were really never crap. They were beating the teams they should. They just couldn't beat Michigan State all that much, and they couldn't beat the Buckeyes, right? But then they start this, and now they're one of the best teams in the nation. Sure, they got players, but they've always had players. One year that they weren't very good, they still sent 20 guys to the league and still lost to the Buckeyes. So the players alone ain't the difference. Seems like they cheated. Seems like it's unfair. Seems like it's an issue. And now that the national media is hopping aboard, you know this isn't stopping. You got 4 more games. The month of November is just getting underway. I feel that Big Ten's going to have to step in. They're going to have to decide that the logo of the Big Ten is more important than Michigan. And other schools in the Big Ten are going to follow suit. When Tony Batiti goes to other schools with that executive committee saying, I got to do something, they're going to agree that he should do something because everybody knows that Michigan is cheating. At least it seems that way. Speculation. Again, allegedly cheating. We'll say that. So comment section below, the Daily Ticket. I don't have time today. I got to hop on the radio to read comments, but I love your comments. We'll read them all tomorrow. The Daily Ticket. But let me know, is the Big Ten going to step in? Are the walls closing in? How scared are you? We'll catch you tomorrow on a Friday. See you guys.